Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals between the Knicks and Pacers brought Madison Square Garden to life once again, but not in the way Knicks fans had hoped. With their team trailing 0-1 in the series after a brutal Game 1 overtime collapse, the pressure was on. New York needed to bounce back badly. But despite a valiant effort and a roaring crowd, they couldn't stop Indiana from snatching another win. Behind a scorching 39-point performance from Pascal Siakam, the Pacers defeated the Knicks 114-109, taking a commanding 2-0 series lead as the series shifts to Indiana. From the opening tip, there was urgency in the air. Jalen Brunson, knowing what was at stake, came out aggressive. He found early success from mid-range, slicing through Indiana's defense and feeding his teammates in transition. The Knicks even built a modest lead midway through the first quarter, with Bridges knocking down key threes and Towns getting touches in the paint. But just as quickly, Pascal Siakam started cooking. He found his spots early, taking advantage of Towns' slow-footed defense and using his spin moves to get to the rim. By the end of the first, he had 11 points, and the Pacers had wiped away the Knicks' lead. The teams were locked at 28 apiece heading into the second. The second quarter saw more of the same. New York trying to rally behind the crowd, Indiana calmly responding. The Knicks' bench was a concern again. Josh Hart struggled to make an impact, and Bojan Bogdanovic couldn't buy a bucket. Meanwhile, the Pacers' second unit held firm. T.J. McConnell, as always, brought energy, and Obi Toppin, yes, the former Knick, had a couple of dunks that clearly stung the crowd. Despite Brunson's best efforts, the Knicks couldn't string together stops. The Pacers kept the ball moving and took smart shots. Halliburton, who had a quieter scoring night overall, was still the floor general, orchestrating everything with patience. The Knicks were able to keep it close, though, thanks to Mikal Bridges, who knocked down a big three late in the quarter. The score at halftime? Tied again, 56-56. It was anyone's game. Coming out of the break, things picked up fast. The third quarter was a back-and-forth slugfest. Brunson remained the Knicks' engine, finishing through contact, hitting pull-ups, and finding Anunoby for a corner three. OG had his best stretch of the night here, playing with intensity on both ends. But Siakam simply wouldn't cool off. He hit jumpers. He spun into layups. He punished double teams. Every time the Knicks made a push, Pascal answered. And let's not forget Miles Turner, who quietly had a big night as well. He finished with 16 points and was a constant presence protecting the rim. As the third quarter wound down, the two teams traded buckets. There were 17 lead changes in total, and with 1 quarter to go, the game was tied again at 81. The fourth quarter is where Indiana broke through. With the game still hanging in the balance, the Pacers went on a 13-4 run to start the period. Siakam kept attacking, but it was also Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith making key plays. Nesmith hit a crucial three that silenced the Garden, and Nembhard had a steal that led to an easy transition dunk. The Knicks were on the ropes. Brunson fought back, hitting a huge three with just under 4 minutes to go and drawing a foul the next possession. But by then, it felt like New York was chasing the game rather than dictating it. The energy was there, but the execution wasn't. Karl Anthony Towns, who finished with 20 points, had a rough closing stretch. His defensive lapses were glaring, and his shot selection in the final 2 minutes hurt the team. One missed jumper, followed by a turnover, gave Indiana all the momentum they needed. Siakam hit another mid-range jumper to push the lead to 5, and although the Knicks kept scrapping, thanks to some last-second heroics by Brunson, it wasn't enough. The clock hit 0, and it was Indiana on top, 114-109. Let's talk about Siakam for a second. He finished with 39 points on 15 of 23 shooting. That's playoff dominance. He didn't just score. He controlled the pace, read the defense, and attacked every single mismatch. It was easily one of the best postseason performances of his career. Tyrese Halliburton's stat line was modest. 14 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. But he did all the little things that don't show up in the box score. His leadership, his calm, and his ability to slow the game down in crunch time made a huge difference. On the Knicks side, Jalen Brunson deserves credit. He finished with 36 points and 11 assists and carried the offense yet again. But one player can only do so much. Towns had 20 points but was a -19 on the floor, and that's the story of the night. The Knicks simply couldn't string together enough stops. They were outscored on the bench 21-11, and in a 5-point game, that's massive. This loss is going to hurt. The Knicks now head to Indiana down 0-2, and while the series isn't over, the margin for error is gone. They'll need to steal one on the road, or this series might end quicker than anyone in New York would like to admit. Coach Thibodeau is going to have to make adjustments. Do you trust Towns in crunch time defense again? Can the bench step up? What's the answer for Siakam? For the Pacers, the job isn't done. But make no mistake, this is a statement. They've walked into MSG and come out with 2 wins. That's not easy. Now, with the home crowd behind them, they'll look to put the series away. Game 3 is set for Sunday night in Indiana. The Knicks will be desperate, the Pacers will be confident, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Let us know in the comments, do the Knicks have a comeback in them, or are the Pacers headed to the conference finals? Drop your predictions, hit that like button if you're enjoying the series, and subscribe for more playoff coverage. See you after Game 3. Game 2 of the Knicks vs. Pacers. 2025 playoffs was a masterclass in grit, momentum swings, and pure playoff intensity, ultimately ending in heartbreak for New York and jubilation for Indiana. In front of a packed Madison Square Garden crowd hoping to see their team even the series, the Knicks once again came up short, falling 114-109 and allowing the Pacers to take a stunning 2-0 lead back to Indiana. Despite a heroic 36-point, 11-assist performance from Jalen Brunson, the Knicks couldn't overcome Pascal Siakam's playoff career-high 39 points, delivered with cold-blooded efficiency and unstoppable confidence. Every time New York seemed to seize control, a clutch 3 from Bridges, a fiery stretch from OG Anunoby, or a crowd-exploding Brunson floater, Indiana calmly responded. Halliburton, though not dominant on the scoreboard, played the perfect conductor, quietly racking up 11 assists and dictating the game's tempo. Miles Turner's 16 points and interior presence gave the Pacers both offensive versatility and defensive balance, while their bench outperformed New York's by double digits. And then there was Karl Anthony Towns. His 20 points were drowned out by a rough fourth quarter, defensive missteps, and a 19+ that told the real story. The Knicks fought hard, but were out-executed in crunch time, undone by poor rotations, missed opportunities, and a team on the other side that simply looked more composed. With the series heading to Indiana, the pressure is now immense for the Knicks, who face the prospect of a 3-0 deficit if they can't regroup fast. For the Pacers, it's more than just a lead, it's a message. This team, long dismissed as overachievers, is now 2 wins away from the conference finals, led by a veteran star in Siakam, who's playing with something to prove, and a young core that's coming of age before our eyes. Game 3 will be a war, but if Game 2 taught us anything, it's this. Indiana is not here to steal games. They're here to take the series.